Vinyl Me Please. Is it worth it? How's the quality? Should you sign up? We discuss today on Talking About Records. My name is G.I. Sanders from NTX Vinyl, small independent chain of record shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you're in the US, you can shop online at ntxvinyl.com. Make sure to subscribe here on YouTube, follow on Facebook and Instagram. Really appreciate it. I'm excited to talk about Vinyl Me Please today. I'm going to give a little bit of an overview for anyone who's not familiar with Vinyl Me Please, what it is, how it works, and then I've got a selection of records that I've gotten from the Vinyl Me Please subscription service over the years. So first of all, if you're not familiar, Vinyl Me Please is a company that was formed, I think it's been around about 10 years. They're based in the United States, Colorado, Denver. And it's a pretty traditional record club, as it's called, or a subscription service. Record clubs date all the way back to, the 70s and 80s. If you think back to, if you're around then, Columbia House and BMG, where you used to subscribe and get LPs, or certainly in the 80s and 90s, CDs, where you would get a bunch of really cheap CDs for a penny, and then you ended up paying a crazy price for one if you'd forget to cancel, right? There was that whole kind of scheme, if you will, back in the day. That's not Vinyl Me Please, but that is the idea of a record club or record subscription service. So essentially you pay a monthly fee. In the case of Vinyl Me Please, you can start out, it's around I think it's $33 a month is the entry point. It's increased a little bit over the years. You pay that $33 once a month, credit card on file, and they will send you a record a month, right? Pretty cool service. They provide a lot of flexibility, which is what I like. And the subscription service has evolved over the years. I became a member probably 5-6 years ago and was sporadically in the beginning. I would sign up, I would cancel, sign up, cancel based on what they have. But it's been about, I'd say, 3 or 4 years where I've been a subscriber all the way through and haven't canceled, because I've just got to the point where I was like, you know what, I trust this. I trust the quality. I trust the flexibility. And that's very important. Keep in mind, you're going to sign up for a subscription service like Vinyl Me Please. They're going to provide you some options of, hey, here's the record of the month, or in this case, they have a couple different what they call tracks, which are like genre-based tracks. You can sign up for hip-hop or country, or what they call classic albums, which is kind of a amalgamation of a lot of different genres. And you're going to get their record of the month, but it's important that you can swap that out. So if you see they announce the record of the month, you're not into that artist, or maybe you already have that album, you can swap it out for something else in their inventory when they've got a pretty vast catalog at this point, which is really great. Or one of the tips that I use a lot is you can swap it out for store credit. So maybe there's not anything that I want right now. I can roll it over to the next month and wait and see if there's something there that I want to grab. So again, the flexibility is probably the thing I love most about Vinyl Me Please, in addition to the products, which I'll talk a little bit about. But to me, it's always been a pretty great service. I've been happy with the customer service and support. The website is really intuitive. They add a lot of extra value, meaning not only in the packaging and the details of what they provide from a product standpoint, but they have a monthly magazine. They put out a lot of good content on their website. They do dedicated like podcasts for certain titles, especially the bigger anthology type of titles, which are box sets. So again, I really appreciate the curation. I appreciate the attention to detail. And in general, I think it's a really good subscription service for the money. Now, they have increased their prices over the years, but honestly, that's no different than anyone else. Prices on records are going up because prices on materials are going up because there's a labor shortage and all of the things that go into the reality of the vinyl business these days. That affects Vinyl Me Please just like it affects every record store, every distributor, every manufacturing plant, right? So I don't fault them for increasing their prices. If $33 a month is too much for you, well then don't sign up, right? It's that simple, right? For me, the vast majority of the titles I've gotten from them, I've been very happy with. I'm pretty choosy with what I buy. So like I mentioned, I will roll over my credits a lot of times. And I have the flexibility of, being a record store owner. So if there's titles I end up getting that I already have or don't want, I always have the ability to kind of pass those along to customers. And so I've got a little even more flexibility baked in. But again, for me, I think the main point is the quality of the albums, the quality of the service, and the quality of the content and the attention to detail they put out. I've always been really happy with it. I'm going to start walking kind of through a few albums. They've done a number of Fiona Apple albums, which is great because you can't get them anywhere else. So they have, from what I believe, an exclusive deal with Fiona Apple. So the way that works is with her or her label. The way that works is Vinyl Me Please is essentially a reissue label in some ways. They do put out new releases now as well. But an example like Fiona Apple, where they've put out several of her records, and in fact, they're the only pressings of these records that are available are through the Vinyl Me Please subscription club. Some of these you had to be a member. Some of them you can get outside of being a member. So that's an important thing. If you're not a member of Vinyl Me Please, you can still go purchase a lot of their albums. They do have exclusives that are just for members, but they've got a vast catalog of hundreds of titles that you can go purchase. Now, you're going to pay a premium if you're not a member, get them discounted. So an album may be $40 if you're not a member. It may be $30 or $33 if you are a member. So you get a discount for being a member if you're going to buy outside of your record of the month, because they're a record label. So not only do they deliver that record of the month and the different tracks like I talked about, they've also got a huge store where you can go and dive into all of their different catalog, every different genre, every different era of music they touch on. And again, really love that curation, and I love the fact that they dive a lot deeper than just your top tier artists, But they, again, they've got a country track now, which is really cool. So you've got stuff like, Shotgun Willie, a classic country album, and you can't tell me that that's not pretty cool, right? This is on what did they call this? Gunsmoke Black or something like that. Really, really cool. Cut from the original master tapes, pressed on 180 gram, exclusive vine. I mean, it's just a really cool package. They always do a really good job with the Obi strip, with the Hike sticker, and most of the time with colored vinyl, right? This is John Mayer's Continuum, one of my favorite albums from them. This is a double LP that they did on kind of like a turquoise with a nice silver label. So again, just a lot of attention to detail. You can go to their site, click through their titles on most of the exclusives, and certainly the club titles. They've got short videos that kind of show the album, so you can see what the packaging looks like. And that stuff takes time, and that stuff takes a lot of money and a lot of creative brain power, and they do a really good job of it. So I really appreciate that. This is another LP, Belladonna by Stevie Nicks. Wait till you see this wax. It is a beautiful LP. I don't know if you'll be able to really tell on camera, but if I can get a little light behind it, maybe you can see that that kind of blue swirl. It's just a beautiful record. So again, the attention to detail and the sound, of course, is very important, and I think they do a really good job. Not on every title. Every record's different, but there are plenty of titles, and I've tried to be particular about the ones I buy based on reviews and based on whether or not it'll fit in my catalog to my taste. Just like any other record label, whether you're putting out reissues or new titles, the sound and the quality, it differs between every pressing. So the ones I have in my collection, I've been very happy with, not only visually, but also from a sound perspective. And I think, again, you just have to be choosy about what you buy, and be particular, read reviews, and see if people have feedback on what works and what doesn't as far as sound. There's a Sturgill Simpson Sound and Fury. I mean, just a beautiful record, right? So they just, again, they do a really good job, not only with the eye candy, but with the pressings. Not every one of them's top notch. They've had issues and have had returns on certain albums and stuff. And they do a really good job customer service wise to make sure that they, at least from my standpoint, kind of back their products, right? Here's Sturgill's Metamodern Sounds, which is really cool pressing. I've got a bunch of Sturgill, similar to Fiona Apple. They do a bunch of Sturgill Simpson. Here is the Cut and Grass Volume 1 on the alternative blue. And then they also did the Cut and Grass Volume 2, which is also on a blue. It's interesting. So again, I can go through these. You'll notice this is just about every different genre of music, which is, again, something I appreciate. It's not just pigeonholed to rock or R&B or hip hop. You can kind of pick and choose your lane. You can go through and choose albums that fit your taste. So again, I talked about the flexibility. I think that's the key when you talk about Vinyl Me Please, is the fact that you, as the subscriber, as the club member, can go in, if you manage it, and you can go in and really, make sure you're getting your money's worth and getting titles that you enjoy. And if you don't see anything you enjoy, you can flip it over and get more in the future. That's the flexibility there is just really, really important. There's an Al Green on green vinyl, really pretty. Um, they have the swap feature, like I mentioned, and I'll kind of show that. Here's Al Green's "Call Me," a really great title, where they notify you, and you've got a little window at the, I think it's at the beginning or the end of each month. They notify you via email and on the website, where you've got, I think, a week or so to go in and swap if you don't like that title. And it's a very intuitive website, and you can go through their whole catalog. Most everything is that's in stock is available to swap. So I utilize that a lot, especially when there's a title that really doesn't speak to me. Here's a newer release they put out. I'm not sure. I think this was an exclusive one. This is My Morning Jacket's most recent self-titled album, kind of on a tricolor. So you can see. I mean, I keep mentioning the attention to detail, and that's the important part here. Is that the quality, I think, does justify the price. That's the biggest thing for me. I don't like getting charged more for anything any more than anyone else. But when I see the attention to detail, and I see the quality, and I see the effort that they put into these titles, not only in curating them and working with all of these artists and labels, getting the rights, going back to the actual original master tapes when they can, all of those things really count for me as a record collector. And that's why I've stuck with it. Like I mentioned, I've been a member on and off in the beginning, and then in the last couple of years, I've been a member all the way through. And so that's how I've been able to accumulate this collection, which again is the tip of the iceberg as far as their catalog is concerned. They've got, like I mentioned, hundreds of titles. These are just the ones I've collected. There's a really beautiful kind of purple and pink Galaxy vinyl of Night at the Opera. And then I've got a couple, let's see, Bill Withers. This one I don't think was an exclusive, but I just couldn't pass it up because it was on a translucent kind of swirl. So you get it, right? Like, I mean, really quality stuff. Here's an album by The Strokes. This one's on a tricolor vinyl. I was just listening to this one. This is Rejuvenation by the Meters. Check out the neon. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? So I love them. I think it's really worth it. The greatest part is you can cancel anytime. So sign up for it, try it for a couple months. Worst case scenario, you end up with a couple albums, that you paid $35 for, which isn't a crazy price point these days for new records at all. And then cancel if you don't like it. Or again, if there's a month where you don't see something you want, you can always roll it over if you've got the ability to do that, which is great because then you don't have to cancel and join multiple times, which I know people do. I see people all the time who will join just for a certain title and then cancel a month later. That's a thing. But again, the value they provide, I think, is really good, and I've been really supportive of it over the years, and I recommend it to people. There's a lot of other record clubs out there. Black Box, there's Bandbox, Magnolia Record Club. There's tons. There's lots of good services who are getting into this business. It is a really cool way to embellish your collection and really bulk up your collection if you sign up for a record club, whether it's Vinyl Me Please or any other one. Just because, and it's kind of fun. You get records in the mail. Sometimes you don't know. Some of the clubs operate more on like a surprise basis where you don't know what you're getting. Vinyl Me Please has gotten really good about announcing it well in advance. In fact, I think they even project out at least a month or two in advance so you can see what's coming, and you can set your subscription accordingly, which is really nice. The other thing that they do is they have an anthology series. Now, this is the Grateful Dead VMP anthology, the story of the Grateful Dead, a beautiful set. These are very limited edition when they come out. They cost several $100s, of course. They've done a handful. I know they've done a Herbie Hancock. They've done a Metal Blade anthology as well. And though the advantage of being a member of the club when those types of things come out is you get it at a discount. So instead of paying maybe $300, you're paying $250 or something like that for a big box set. And that's, again, all in the case of the Dead, I'm pretty sure that's all cut from the original masters. They're all on unique colored vinyl. Really cool set. I need to do an unboxing just on that one, honestly, because it's really beautiful. One of my favorite box sets. But the net for me, again, Vinyl Me Please. I believe as a vinyl collector, it's worth a try. There's no commitment. Again, you can cancel anytime. I think that's the most important thing. Again, I keep mentioning the flexibility, and I keep mentioning the attention to detail on the album. So I've always been very pleased. Like I said, I'm supportive of it. If you're a member, I'd love to hear what you think. And if you're not a member, if you're thinking about signing up and have questions, definitely put in the comments. Maybe myself or some other people can provide some more clarity if there's more questions. I have no skin in the game as far as Vinyl Me Please. I'm just a fan, right? Just a collector and a fan, and I subscribe to it personally, and I think it's a great service. And I love seeing who put I love seeing people who really put passion and creativity into the concept of a vinyl reissue label like Vinyl Me Please, which is a beautiful thing to see these days. So that's my quick review on Vinyl Me Please. Like I mentioned, I'd love to hear your feedback and your thoughts on it and your experience with it over the years. Appreciate you watching another episode of Talking About Records. Stay on the channel. I'll pop some more videos up here, and we'll see you again next time.